Come on, Clive, hurry up.
Morning, Mark.
Morning.
Mark, well, we've just been talking about it. Obviously, it's a long night in the end, coming back from Blackburn, albeit on a positive note. But so now that I guess the job is to get the players up and going again for another crucial game.
Yeah, so we're obviously in later today to try and give them a bit of extra sleep, so to give them as much chance to recover as possible. But obviously after today I want them away as quickly as possible to go and rest again, so we'll give them the work that they need and then they'll be off. So refueling, recovery, really important for tomorrow.
The mood though on the way back must have been pretty good. It must have felt like a win the way that the game finished.
I think to score late in any game, but obviously the circumstances around it, you've got to it's different circumstances, aren't they? So you could tell the euphoria around it, and then you've got to try and come down from that as well. So you've got the adrenaline that's pumping through bodies, and then when it hits you, obviously you're tired. So the journey back didn't help, but you've got to go again. There's like I said, there's 3 games left, 2 of which are at home, and whilst you're playing against sides that are, one's struggling at the bottom because they've had a points deduction. They've lost the manager, they've changed manager, and Noel Hunt's taken charge. He's got 2 draws from his 2 home games against tough opposition in Burnley and Luton. But they're fighting, and that's what we've got to expect. We have to make sure that we are ready to go. And I'm sure the supporters are excited, and I'm sure they'll turn up in big numbers on Saturday. So we've got to look forward to it. I mean, the start of the game, the first half the other night was very, very poor. Didn't like any of it whatsoever. And then the second half was totally different. And we said if we played in that spirit and that way in the first half, or for the whole game, we would have won the game. There was nothing in it, and this is what happens in Championship football, in football in general, but Championship football is like that. If you can suddenly get on top in a game, it can rock the opponent. You've got to keep going, and what we did in the second half, and certainly towards the end of the game, was build pressure, and we ended up getting the goal, fortunately, with what was essentially the last kick.
Is it as simple as saying you need to win these 2 home games now to be strongly in contention? Yeah.
At this stage, you've got to win. There's no doubt about it. You have to win, to give yourself any realistic chance. And even then, it's not really in our hands. We've got to hope that other teams drop points, but you can't look at anybody else. You've got to look at yourselves. It's down to us. It's in our hands from that sense. We've just got to pick the maximum points up that we can, and to win games. I mean, from Watford, we were disappointed in the game, because that really to go 2 goals down against them, to come back was fantastic, but to do that and have to do that was disappointing, frustrating. But we've worked really hard to get back into it, and we did that with 2 quality goals. We've had obviously the 2 games, the away game at QPR, where we've picked up 4 points from the 2 games. Under normal circumstances, that's great, but 1 defeat in 13, I think it is, and really we've been pretty good for the most part. We're scoring goals. Our away performance levels have gone up. The away results have gone up in line with that, and we've got 2 home games now to try and get maximum points against Reading and Birmingham. Both difficult games in their own right, but we can only focus on tomorrow.
What news on Ben Sheaf? How's that looking?
There is no news at the moment, other than he's still got a little bit of discomfort in his calf, opposite calf than the one that kept him out. But he'll be having a scan at midday, and we'll find out from that. But I may find out sort of later on today, so I've got to plan accordingly. So if he's available, then fine. I'll have maybe a couple of plans on the go, but ultimately it is what it is. We've just got to wait.
And Jamie Allen, how close is he?
Again, we've got to look. Jamie's just depends on Jamie's pain threshold. He's going to train today, so let's see. Watch this space.
What's your gut feeling? Is this team good enough to get into those playoffs and to ultimately win promotion?
I think this team is as good as this team wants to be, and
if we all stick together and all work hard, who knows where it could take us.
And there's been a lot of talk the last couple of years now about the team spirit at Coventry, and the way you celebrated that goal at the end against Blackburn showed that, and people have been telling us how you also look after each other and help each other through difficult times and good times as well. Have you sensed that?
Yeah, this team's very together. It's funny because me and Fad were talking about on the bench. We were saying, "Go on, Ben, go up there, just get yourself a goal, and it happened, and we saw all the staff were celebrating, all the boys were celebrating, everyone was going crazy because it means a lot to us, and yeah, we showed that week in, week out.
But that's important, isn't it? Even those that aren't on the pitch at the time are very much part of it.
Yeah, every single player here counts, and we're going to need everyone throughout the course of the season, and we showed that with subs coming on or new players coming into the team and making an impact. Everyone's needed, so we all stick together, we all get behind the team, and we all work hard for each other.